This is a J-Mix exclusive.
Your first music video was We Want Easy.
We Want Easy.
Was that your breakout in the production industry, or were you working on projects prior to that?
I worked in projects way before that. Breakout. I couldn't say what a breakout was. I mean, by the time Easy came around, I may have done production management on the Grammys by then. I worked with Robert Townsend on his Partners in Crime and HBO specials. I think I maybe had done a Soul Train Awards by then as well. I would say if there was a single breakout, it may have been the Grammys. The first time I worked on the Grammys as a breakout in production. But as far as first time directing, definitely Eazy-E was my breakout in that space.
Yes, sir. I didn't mean to offend. I just meant music video-wise.
Oh, no. No. Definitely Eazy. I was like, well, yes. Eazy-E, We Want Easy was definitely my breakout production in music videos, no doubt. My passion has been and is more of music and film and television. I'm on the production side of, the film and TV side, not on the music side, but it's been my passion to incorporate all those doctrines, if you will. I can't imagine doing anything different than I'm doing now. I can imagine myself, and I see myself doing bigger things, incorporating more music and culture in film. I am living a dream as we speak. I am doing exactly what I like to do. That's what I want to do, and I'm doing what I'm called to do. I recently, just last night in New York City, shot another portion of my film with Robert Glasper Jr., and that's my space. And at the same time in Los Angeles, I was shooting the beginning of another Soldier documentary based on the dancers. And I might add that next week I'll be in Brazil to shoot, part of a documentary on samba. So I'm doing exactly what I want to do now.
Who is the person that gave Kevin Swain a shot?
Wow. I would say there's not one single person. There are a number of people who gave me a shot. Notably, my very first production, I worked on the Red Fox show for Laura Martella Pictures. And then I worked on Motown on Showtime with Suzanne DePath. Then I worked with Robert Townsend, and I also worked with Don Cornelius on the Soul Train Awards. So I'd say all of those were great opportunities for me. Red Fox was great. He was absolutely great to work with. We understood each other right away, and it was a great experience. That was my very, very first job as a runner, and I understood the value of delivering. I understood the value of relationships, and I understood the value of persistence.
Was he the same on camera as he was in person?
Well, yeah, on camera he was acting, but off camera he was just the nicest, sweetest man ever. He was just a good man to be around, and I enjoyed working on that show. There was also a time when there was an effort to bring more minorities into the business. The Red Fox show was maybe a year or two after the Bill Cosby show, Charles and Company. I think Amen and 227 were a few years after that. So I'm a beneficiary, I should say, of a lot of people's efforts to bring more people of color into the fold.
And Red Fox was one of those people.
No question.
I wanted to ask you about your work on the 1995 rap documentary, The Show.
Oh, hey, that was fun.
What role in production did you play?
I was the producer of the live concert in Philadelphia. I was shot at the Armory, And that featured, I believe, Wu-Tang Clan, the Dog Pound, Snoop, Biggie Smalls, Puffy, Craig Mack, and Run DMC. Ironically, that same production would have had Tupac and Public Enemy in East Berlin, but he, he got shot just a few days prior to the show. That was a big missing part, to that show. That would have been a great icing on that cake. Well, my responsibility was to produce the live concert.
I was going to ask that because he does have a song on soundtrack, and we all always wonder why he never made the movie.
Yeah, he got shot right there in Manhattan. I mean, literally, it may have been a week before. It may have been a week before.
You did have the chance to meet Christopher Wallace.
Oh, yes, no question.
What was your impression of him?
He's a nice guy. Biggie was a really sweet, lovable guy. Actually, before the show, I produced a commercial he did for St. Ives. He was a really, really warm human being. And I'm not sure if the first or the second Source Awards, which was after the show, so I had a chance to work with him 3 times. But really genuinely nice guy.
What's that make you smile memory of the Notorious B.I.G.?
Oh, just, his lovable personality. I guess he was a very warm and smiling guy. I think he really enjoyed his life. I think as opposed to lamenting, where he came from, he was enjoying living in the present moment. That's my take on him. I didn't know him personally, but definitely the few times I was around him, I felt he was a human being who enjoys his life.
Did you ever expect a rap documentary to make $3 million at the box office?
I never thought about it, to tell you the truth. And honestly, in today's economy, it should have done better, actually. But you didn't have the social media aspect of it all. But nor was, hip-hop that big in 94, I believe it was. I mean, you fast forward that a few more years, it probably would have made more money. In fact, it would be great if it came back out because it's a whole new generation who could enjoy that film.
I was under the assumption that $3 million for a documentary in the box office was a good number.
Put it this way, the jazz film shot in Cuba, the Buena Vista Social Club, made $23 million box office. Of course, you're talking 2 different genres, 2 different, schools, but nonetheless, given today's marketing, Facebook, Twitter, and such, that kind of film should do better. So 3 million is a good number, but it could do better.
Agreed. I think it's very underrated, and it's a great documentary.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get involved with the Source Awards?
The Source Awards, well, I was working in New York on Def Comedy Jam, and my very dear friend Chris Latimer, he knew the guys at the Source very well, Dave Mays and Michael. What's Michael's last name? Can't remember his last name. And he said we had a meeting and we talked about it and we got it done. I had no idea who Dave Mays was or the Source magazine or the enormity of those shows at the time, to tell you the truth. And we had a good time. We had a really good time. I'm sorry, Michael Elliott and Dave Mays. That's what it was. Michael Elliott and Dave Mays. It was a good time. It was a crazy show, but we had a good time.
Both these years in 94, 95, they met with incidents that made headlines. Ironically, both incidents involved either Tupac or Death Row. Were you there for the Out on Bail performance where by accident he interrupted Q-Tip's speech?
I was, as a matter of fact. I was the producer of that show, and it was by accident that he came out. If you ever attended a Tupac concert, he didn't have introductions. It wasn't like next up, here's Tupac Shakur. He just hit the dat and he came out and did his thing. That was a production snafu. There was nothing intended by it, towards Tribe Called Quest. I do believe in, even that night they talked about it and it squashed it. And I think in years following, they also, they're on good terms. That there was no harm intended.
So there wasn't a malignant atmosphere when that happened?
Not at all. Not at all. Again, someone hit a button, Tupac came out. That's hip hop.
This is a J Mix exclusive.
What up, shut up?